Hello and welcome back to another Team Card Titan video. I am here with Chase, who is our OTS champion. And what did you play?
Played Voiceless Voice. Picked the deck up a week ago. Requires a lot of skill. Fortunately, didn't require a lot of deck knowledge. The deck's usually panned out specifically already. You kind of just copy a list online. And then tweak it to whatever you're doing, which I tweaked the side deck. Got first, 4 rounds, 4-0. Matchups were Red Raptor. First game, I bricked. Average Voiceless Voice. You have those games. Scooped, lost. Game 2, normal game, hand trapped him, interacted, he just couldn't play through it. Then game 3, Karma hits back, Red Raptor player books, T-set pass, blow him out of the water, play through 4 hand traps. Second round versus Snake Eyes, Fiendsmith. Didn't have Azamina, had Cashiers instead. It was fine. Game 3, 1, opened Anti-Spell Soul. Anti-Spell and Voiceless is disgusting. Round 3 versus Centurion Bestial. Ryan, he came second. Came into wire. Felt like we kept hand trapping each other. Game felt stale for a lot of it. Just kind of who could continue, and Voiceless Voice having continuous spells at every single turn you can get your cards is really nice. So he edged that out to a win. Round 4 versus Ritual Beast. I sided the card specifically for it because I knew the person was playing it. We'll get to that in the side deck. Anyway, decks. Triple low, standard. You need 3 of it. You can't play the game without it. The other low, triple Diviner and the 1 Trias. Diviner, send Trias. Trias being a quick effect that tributes Diviner's cost is also insane.
Yeah, dodging Impem.
Yeah, like you're dodging shit left and right in this deck. It doesn't matter if your opponent interacts with you half the time. Voiceless is a very good deck at doing what it wants to do. Play the 2 Saphira. Didn't play 3 because the third one was Magnum Hunt.
Interesting.
Saphira, a lot of the time, it feels like the second one doesn't come up. Or like, the third one never comes up. So just having a Magnum as an interruption that can get you the Saphira is really nice. Move on to the rituals. Standard layout. 2 Skull Guardian, 1 Saravis, 1 Pendulum Graph. Skull Guardian's an insane card. 40-100, 2 specs to the face wins the game. Omni Negate, there's Carter effects, so you can negate the continuous, really nice. Saravis, especially against decks like Centurion or Ritual Beast, they need to Synchro summon a lot and Fusion summon just normally. Being able to just remove that and banish it is insane.
Yeah, because it banishes, doesn't just destroy.
Yeah, and then a cool play you can do with Saravis with Blessing. So Blessing, continuous spell lets you ritual summon on your opponent's turn or your turn whenever a monster is summoned that is not a ritual. So on your turn, you've summoned your Saravis, you have your Blessing, your opponent goes, okay, Saravis bounces to your hand as cost, negate their summon. They summon again, you Blessing a low, summon back the Saravis, do it again. Hard points per turns are not a thing for Saravis because it's an old card. And also in hand, if they remove your barrier, it's still targeting protection by discarding to ensure Diviner goes off when you need it. Pendulum Graph, you blind it going, say, first game, just a spell negate. Play enough with this, because if someone's an odd eyes from their correction deck, if you guys Tenpai, I didn't burst it today, you just summon Meteor Burst, and Meteor Burst just auto wins because you have a spell negate that you stop Raigeki, another Omni negate. They can't target anything, they just lose if you have Meteor Burst.
Yeah, Meteor Burst is crazy.
Real. Moving on to the continuous spells of the deck. We have the 3 barrier. Card's nutty. Decks find it really hard to interact with. So basically, they can't run over anything. All your lights are untargetable. We have low and the Skull Guardian. Every single turn, because it's continuous, you can just keep adding a Voiceless Voice card, not a spell trap, not a monster, not a ritual, anything in your deck. Nutty. All the time you can use Barrier if you open it to get the 1 copy of Blessing. So you auto set up instead of having to try and find a way like Dynamondo to recycle the low in order to get the second place on the opponent's turn by Low's effect. Last continuous Radiance. Radiance is nice. I did find both effects extremely useful because sometimes if you open a barrier, instead of placing the Blessing with the low, placing the Radiance is better because in siding, there are a lot of times to fit in your side deck, you will take out one of your 2 ritual spells. And if you want to activate Saphira, you need to send a ritual spell from deck to grave. So just being able to activate that off low and just get it back so you can then do that again is really nice. So then just the 2 ritual spell. The effect of banishing when they out one of your rituals to get another one didn't really come up. It was more just a scare tactic, so if they did try and get rid of it, they know that this thing is going to go off and then it wouldn't matter. Summon a Saravis.
It's actually crazy how much pressure it puts just by having it in the grave. It's like, you have to really be
you
careful
don't even
how
just use it there. You go Saphira. Saphira, it has self-ritual summons. It's nutty.
Because it does, if it leaves the field, it's not even if it's sent to grave, right?
Yeah, it just leaves the field.
Crazy.
Only thing you can mind is it does not work as a strike by battle, but to be honest, 9 of the time it's not happening.
Yeah, no, good luck getting over a 4K beat stick with an Omni.
Yeah, you have to be over 4K, or Blessing has a nice effect. Come up against Rip Beast a lot in the 4th round. The monster you summon off of it cannot be destroyed by battle, and Ritual Beast finds it hard to kill, especially if you can't target anything. Next card is just double pre-prep. Pre-prep's a stupid card. Add a ritual spell and just add the Skull Guardian or add the Saravis protection to make sure the Diviner goes off, the low goes off. I did find cutting it to 1 in the siding a bit. That's mainly just because Saphira and you're already cutting 1 ritual spell out. So if you want a Saphira and pre-prep in your hand, you've opened them, you can only use 1. Next card is the Dogmatika package of 3 Nadir Servant, 1 Maximus. This engine solo won me a game against Centurion. This engine is insane. It also won me a game against the Snake Eyes player. Just not even having to send a Guru to draw, just being able to send like an Entis is crazy. If you go first, it's still insane. You activate Nadir Servant, send your Garura to the graveyard, get a draw, you get your Dogmatika, summon it, get rid of the Garura, send Herald and Tri-Brigade to the graveyard, draw 1, put 1 back, so if you have like another ritual spell you don't want, we have like a second copy of like a Purge or an Ash Boss and Chance once per turn, put that back. Then Herald to search a Saravis of the Pendulum Graph, because you've already most likely summoned your Skull Guardian and done Dynamondo plays, whatever, because this does lock in the extra deck and sometimes that does matter. A lot of time it doesn't, really. It's a ritual deck. Who cares if you get locked? You still play.
I mean, another cool thing about that is that it gives you deck knowledge because your opponent's also forced to send 2 cards.
Yes, that is really nice. And sometimes, especially as a Centurion player, when I summon Maximus, he doesn't have a lot to send. Like the extra deck in Centurion can feel kind of tight when you're playing Mystical Centurion. So you just go Maximus and he sends one of the 2 level 8s, or else he just loses options to play into the deck because a lot of the negates destroy. Like Saravis just removes a summon, that's a body gone. Skull Guardian negates and destroys, so that's another body gone. So they're making weird levels like Chaos Angel and stuff, so they can't get rid of them, they have to keep them. Of course, the one of Prosperity. You're playing a ritual deck, if you don't play that, it's whack. Hand Trap lineup, standard, 3 Ash, best hand trap, 3 Veiler. Pretty good hand trap. I lost game 1 against Rip Beast because I opened double Veiler against D-Shifter. So when I lost that. 3 Imperm. Second best hand trap. Sometimes I'd argue it's better running over Ash Blossom in certain decks. Card's good. And then the Voiceless Voice special, 3 Purge. It's a light deck. You don't need Darks. Dynamondo's an Earth as well. Opening these 2 together is insane because of Purge having a trap in the graveyard can destroy the card that adds. So if you go Imperm, one of their guys, when you're going second, then when they activate, let's say Ritual Beast has a continuous spell that you can search off of, every single turn. They activate it, you go purge, stop the search, destroy it. Hand trap wipes done. Extra deck.
I notice a lack of birds.
A lack of
Birds.
Well,
tell me Voiceless.
did not have them. Don't see a need. That's the main reason I picked up Voiceless was because Voiceless does nothing. I feel like people are gonna main it. I don't have either Malchami at the moment. Been doing other things because $200 for a Voiceless each is a bit. I'll grab it eventually. Just feel like playing a deck like Voiceless where it doesn't auto lose to either.
I mean, I guess this like kind of shows that you don't need Voiceless or even Perulia to be able to win an event.
I'm friends with the Rip Beast player. The chances of you drawing Shifter, which you never do if you play a Shifter deck, is the same chance you draw in Voiceless, but Voiceless is less if you main deck it. Because then if you open it going first, you have a dead card.
Yeah.
Extra deck, just kind of half of it is just generic shit. The other half is Nadia targets. You go one Anima. Anima into Rip Beast is really nice. Because they're linked 4 points upwards. It's just any deck that's linked that points upwards. You can just use low to go Anima. Then you make Dynamondo with the Anima in your ritual, get back another guy, then your opponent's turn, you can Dynamondo and then get everything back. Because when you slow, will activate when you summon back the Skull Guardian off of Dynamondo. The Link 1 line of Secure Gardener and Almirage, if you just open low, just gets you an extra thing on board. It's alright to have, it's not too crazy. IP, Unicorn, didn't have my SP for today, so Unicorn's replacement. I didn't even summon IP more than once. In the one game I did, the opponent scooped, so it didn't matter. Underworld Goddess did come up. Just Underworld Goddessing to remove crazy crap, like Raid Raptors having a tower. If you don't, Beyond just stop all of it.
We had two of them, which is like, bro.
Yeah. Also, I didn't invest in this person playing Melodious. Underworld Goddess is just, you need this against a Melodious deck. Otherwise, then just none of their cards can destroy card effects. Battle, targeting is wild. You can't really out that in this deck properly because everything targets or you kill it by battle. Nadir targets, Cypherm Driver, Omega, sorry. Cards kind of crazy into certain matchups because it just sits in the graveyard if you've like prosped any of your other targets out. And then at any point, especially against Rip Beast is a good example. This deck does have destruction, like your double enters you play. So Rip Beast has an inherent protection against all form of destruction in Rip Beast Tame Lara. So if you get to your turn, you want to destroy it, you had an Omega dumped. You shuffle back Omega and the Spiritual Beast, which also hurts them. Because a Ritual Beast play that they like to do is on their turn, they have their own Fan of Your Bell where they can banish Ritual Beast from the graveyard. Spiritual Tamer Lara, when banished, will summon one. So if you just don't maybe get rid of it, they have nothing to summon from deck and cuts off like a lot of their starting plays. 2 Entis, popping a card when you go second is nice. Herald, Tri-Brigade, Garura, they're the main 3 that you send off of it when you go first, or something when you go second if you want to like get cards. Draw one, put 1 back, add any ritual spells, just really nice to have. As shown earlier, the Meteor Burst, this is free, you've got to play it, you might as well. Just an auto win against Tenpai if you get it out. Another one, Typhon, didn't end up summoning it today. The only conflict I feel like Typhon has in the deck is it has to be the highest attack, and Skull Guardian kind of sits on the board 4100, and unless they remove low and everything, you don't really want to get rid of it. But definitely comes up if they stop everything and you went second.
Like a last-ditch effort.
Yeah, Typhon, that's what Typhon should be. Card is very good and balanced. Moving on to the side deck. Double Ghost Ogre, double Mourner. These are for just going second over hand traps. Originally there was 2 more Ghost Spell, but I took that out and a Tikaboo. Tikaboo because I felt like there was several players, because I know the Centurion player was going. Ritual Beast can play through it. I just felt like I'd rather put in a card that just whoops Ritual Beast. So then 3 Droll, because no Perulia. Droll's still really good.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Especially if you play against Snake Eyes, Fiendsmith, Asmina, whatever, they do a lot of searching.
Oh, especially even the Fire King version as well.
Yeah,
they get
just
punished
being
even
able to
harder.
cut it off so you don't have to deal with it is really nice. The funny Ritual Beast auto win triple six
I thought so.
I opened this game 3 against Ritual Beast. His turn was summon to pass.
Yeah, this is a functional FTK, and for those who don't know, this card is also going to be kind of insane next year's format with Malice, because this is also just like an FTK against that deck.
Yeah, Malice is the same thing as Rip Beast. They borderline just have to pass or make an SP and then lose shit or whatever they do. Really wild that happened. Game 3, I opened the Lanciered him. He basically just passed. I did full combo. Start of my turn, I prosperitied. 6th card revealed was another Lancet. I added, it would have just won me the game instantly there without even having to use any other interaction on his following turn, because I couldn't kill him. Because that is like one of Ovo's issues, is it can't just OTK whenever it wants.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time you'll take like 2 turns to proc them, but having like an Omni negate every single turn it makes it so much easier. But he did top deck a Cold Buy, so the second less it didn't matter, but the board was already established. Cerebus against, as I said, against Rip Beast, Centurion and stuff, just is insane. Cold Buy, it's a good card. Cider going first, you are kind of a combo deck. Also Shifter, hate that card. Anti-Spell, this is arguably one of the best decks to play Anti-Spell in. Due to Lowe's wording is place. And the ritual spell effect in the graveyard to summon when you guys leaves, that doesn't activate. Just anti-spell your opponent, they can't play. This won me game 3 because I opened it and one of the next card, Judgment. Set anti.
Just don't be in time, that's all.
Anti-spell, Solemn Judgment, I forget the high order, different rarities. Can't be asked to find matching ones.
I mean, Judgment's just great into any protection for any of your stuff.
Like if you're playing a deck like Voiceless Voice, Judgment's a set. You already have setting up Pendulum Grab, a Spell Negate, or Cerebus, so like an Inherent Summon Negate that you can potentially do twice in one turn, and an Omni Negate, nothing be targeted. The only real thing that's out in your stuff is Breakers, and just play Judgment. It's Deed Barrier, it doesn't feel like great this format. As it is, Snake Eyes, Fire King, whatever you mishmash you want to call it, is still just links, and it's just, they can play around Deed Barrier like it's nothing. Anti-Spell, Judgment, thing's crazy. That is the end of the deck. That's
nice.
first.
And do you have any shout-outs before we finish?
Group that came with from Rocky, Ryan they got 2nd, Toby they got 3rd, Jack, he was somewhere down in 7th spot. That's about it. I like the deck.
I think he got 6th. Yeah.
Funnily enough, Mitchell got 6th and Jack got 7th.
I see.
Mitchell was not in his right state of mind last night. He was very passed out. And he played Grey Raptor and got higher than the Snake Eyes player.
Hilarious. I think that's the only Snake Eye player that actually got into like top 4, top cut, if you want to call that. That's
Yeah.
Everything else is rogue, yeah, because like what, Voiceless Voice, Centurion, and then Ritual Beast.
One thing with Centurion, I would argue with that deck. Outside of the matchup that I had with it, there was a bit of brickiness on both of our ends. He parried me 2 turns in a row and still couldn't play.
I mean, like you said, because Purley, I guess, hurts a little bit more.
Yeah. I kind of like gave him like a draw on turn, 2 draws on turn 1, gave him 1 draw on the following turn, he parried me. Centurion, if it starts going, is insane.
Yeah.
You need to stop that deck, which is good because this deck plays an egregious amount of hand traps. So there's like 3 Veiler, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Purge. You can side in double Ghost Ogre, double Mourner, triple Droll, which I theoretically works, but it's really weird.
Depends how they start. Yeah.
Centurion is clear like Magnum Hut and stuff. Searches during the end phase, that stops it if it activated it. But if you just stop them playing their deck already, because Centurion's problem is its starters need to start going off for them to win and start playing the game. You've already got 3, 6, 9, 12 hand traps, what's them? 16 hand traps.
Yeah.
The draw felt a little bricky.
It's a bit of a hit or miss card, but when it hits hard.
When it hits, you've just saved yourself from getting FTK on this. Matt looks nice. First OTS Matt, pretty good. Played Voiceless for a week. Unironically, might just sell it in a week. I don't know. Won the sneak peek tournament for Rhoda last time I was down in Bundy, and Solomento literally 3 days afterwards, the deck that I won with. I'm going to continue the streak, I guess.
Yeah, keep it up.
New deck every time. Gonna play 60 card pile Infernoids next time. Blind second. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for showing us all, and congratulations on the win. We'll see you guys next time.